So everything in our reality is polar. And what that means is that everything has an opposite, right? That's really easy for us. We're like black, white, right? Up, down, light, shadow. Got it, right? Everything has an opposite. But the way that I want you to think about this, oh my gosh, you guys, I got a little tiny whiteboard so that we can do our drawings. This is so exciting. Oh my God, I dropped the lid. Okay, so everything is polar. So if you can think about like light, shadow, two opposites, right? Light, shadow, light, darkness, however you want to see it, two opposites. But here's how I want you to picture it. It's one whole, right? It's two sides of the same stick. So where there's light, there is shadow. Where there's shadow, there is light. Okay. So let's just do another one just for fun so that our brains can kind of take this in. Up and down, right? It's two sides of the same whole. Where there's up, there has to be a down. Where there's down, there has to be an up. They're connected, right? So now let's get even more esoteric. We have ego and we have soul. In polarity, which is where we live, they are connected. They are the same, right? So in our world, the earth realm is the only realm that has polarity that we know of. I mean, my goodness, right? We're talking about huge concepts here, but from what I understand, the earth realm is the only realm where we have polarity, meaning everything has its opposite, but its opposite is actually it. It's one and the same. So what it brings in the question is, one, why does this matter, right? And then two, the bigger question is, where are you focused? Where are you living? Where are you giving energy to? So there's an old fable, or what's that word? We'll go with fable, where there's two wolves. Robert makes fun of me for the way I say wolves. It's a hard word. There's two wolves. One of them is all of these like shadowy lower parts of yourself, the ego stuff, there's no love there. It's all fear. It's all survival. It's all like just about me. And then there's soul, which is oneness, connectedness, love, service, giving. It's all about we are one. Which one is going to dominate? And as the fable goes, the one you feed. It's the one you feed. Now, what this sets up, though, is a rejection of one side, which is not the way. It's not the way. And a lot of times, it's taught like this, but that's just like the first layer of getting into this. Rejection is not the way, because the moment I reject something, I'm giving it energy immediately, right? Which is then what creates this loop that we end up experiencing the same of the same over and over and over again. So if I reject the ego, I reject the shadow, I reject the wound, I reject my insecurities, I reject my conditioning, I reject my past. If I reject it, I'm attached to it. And it's going to keep amplifying. It's going to keep playing out. Are you guys with me? Click, click. So in my rejection, I'm actually attached to it. And I'm actually giving energy to the side that I don't want to experience. But this is the great paradox, right? So our question in this becomes, why am I so afraid of it? You feel that? Why am I so afraid of it? Why do I need to keep it at bay? Because in that question, you're going to find what it has for you. So all shadow. And what we mean by shadow is like the parts of ourselves that we may not like, the parts of ourselves that have held us back, the parts of ourselves that we're trying to overcome, the parts of ourselves that maybe we're ashamed of. All of that is our shadow, right? And in that shadow, we're trying to just be in the light. Just be in the light. Don't look at that. Just be in the light. And that's willpower, right? And willpower, as we know, is not sustainable. So if I have a shadow and I'm like, let me break it down into something that's way more practical. So say I have like, whenever I get in like a room with a whole lot of people, there's a part of me that feels like I don't belong. They're going to judge me. They're not going to like me, right? That's a shadow. That's a shadow aspect. It's a focus of the self. It's a fear. It's a non-truth, right? Because it's my thought making up that I'm less than in some way, right? So that's a shadow aspect of ourselves. And our mind, our ego just wants to go, just be this, just be bold, just be loud, like pretend you're this. And it's like, and that's a viable strategy for a time, right? If you got to just like make it happen, you can do that. But the truth is that that shadow is still there, right? Even if we try to fake our way, even if we try to pretend that I'm confident and I belong here, it's like that shadow aspect is still there. The shadow aspect is there because there's something in it that you need to get. There's something in it. There's shadow is hidden light. Think about it just from a very practical standpoint. Shadow is hidden light. It's just a shadow. You see that? See the shadow? Does that mean that light does not exist? No, light is all there is. Shadow is hidden light. So what we need to do is bring light to the shadow, because when we do that, we're going to get that part of us, that light that's in there, that part that's been hidden. It's been in the shadows. There's power there. There's parts of ourselves there waiting to come online, waiting to be awakened. They're hidden, right? They're hidden. But that's our human journey. This whole journey is about becoming more of who you are.